If you're making a move to South Louisiana, there are some hidden costs that you might not have considered. So if you want to hear all about that, that's exactly what we're talking about in this video. So stick around because we're getting after it right now. Hey guys, I'm Shaun Ramos and welcome to the Living in Louisiana channel, where we talk about everything that you need to know when it comes to moving to and living in Louisiana. If that sounds like something you want to follow, make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell because I'm putting out new videos just like this one every single week. And if you didn't know, I am a licensed realtor in the state of Louisiana, so as much as I love making these videos for you guys, what I really love is to help you with your real estate needs. So that number is popping up on your screen right now. Every single one of those calls, texts, or emails comes directly to me. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have any specific questions or needs when it comes to making the move to Louisiana. All right, let's get down to business. So in Louisiana, we have a lower cost of living than if you were to compare to the national average. So that means things like groceries, utilities, healthcare, gas prices, and housing. All that stuff, you're going to get more bang for your buck here than you would in lots of other parts of the country. But there are definitely some hidden costs that you might not have considered if you're not from the area. First hidden cost we're going to talk about is flood insurance. So what can I tell you about flood insurance? It's not always required. You're going to have 3 different flood zone classifications here. So if you're flood zone X, that means the extra insurance isn't required and you don't have to have it. But if you are in flood zone A or AE, then you are going to be required to carry that extra insurance. And when I say it's required, if you own your house outright, if you paid cash for your house, nobody can require you to have anything. But if you do have a mortgage and you took out a loan to buy the house, the lender is the one that actually requires the insurance.
Don't tell me what to do!
They just have to protect their investment. So unfortunately for buyers, if you're searching for a house online, there's no way to filter out the houses that don't need insurance from the houses that do require it. So that's where you're really going to need somebody like me that can dig into it for you. Now, there are some tools available that you can use to help you get an idea, but they're not always 100% accurate. If you Google LSU flood maps, you can actually type in an address and see which flood zone that a property's in. But just an example of how it's not always accurate, the last house that I lived in was in a subdivision that if you type in the address in the LSU flood map, it shows that the whole neighborhood is in the blue area, which means that it does require flood insurance. But what happens is these developers, they build up the lots high enough so that the property is high enough above the base floodplain. They're actually able to go to the parish and get a letter called a LOMA that bumps it up into flood zone X, and then you don't need the insurance anymore. So when your insurance company pulls up the maps, they may see that it does require flood insurance, but as long as you can produce the letter, then you're good. I've seen policies lower than $400 a year, and I've seen them get up into the thousands of dollars per year.
No, thank you.
So even if you're buying a house that's in your price range, if you factor in a big flood insurance policy, then it may price you out. It's entirely possible that you could buy, say, a $250,000 house that has a $2,500 a year flood policy attached to it and get it for the same price that you could probably get a $275,000 house with no flood insurance required. So it's definitely something just to be aware of. You just need to know that if you're buying a house that's not in flood zone X, there is going to be some additional costs and some additional risk that it could actually flood. The second cost that I want to talk about is actually your homeowners insurance. Now, this is a cost you're going to have whether you're buying a house in Louisiana or any other state. But in Louisiana, homeowners insurance is getting to be an issue because after Hurricane Ida, a lot of companies just pulled out of the state altogether. With fewer choices, the premiums have definitely gone up, and the companies that did stick around have gotten a lot more strict. And one area they seem to be giving a lot of problems with is with the roof of the house. I've had several clients tell me that their insurance companies reached out to them to let them know that if they didn't replace their roof, they were going to drop their coverage. I had one client in particular that had so much trouble with his insurance. I really felt bad for him. Before they even really got settled into their house, their insurance company pulled out of the state and dropped them. So when these companies started pulling out, we went back to get more quotes, and the quotes just started coming in a lot higher than the original ones. And they went through this process probably 2 or 3 times where they had insurance coverage in place, the company would pull out of the state, and then they'd have to go back and find a new one before they finally got settled in with one that stuck around. It's just something to consider because it's something that you have to have, but it can be a little pricier than you might expect. So 100%, your lender can help you find a good insurance company and get you quotes. You definitely want to shop it around. It's something you want to look into, maybe bundling with your auto insurance to get the lowest price you can. The third thing I want to talk about is termites. Termites cause millions of dollars in damage every year in Louisiana. Our hot, humid climate in South Louisiana just makes it a hot spot for termites. If you ask anybody, if you're living in South Louisiana, it's just a matter of when you're gonna get termites, not if. So for that reason, it's 100% a good idea to just go ahead and have the house treated and keep it under contract with a licensed termite company. If you're comparing the cost of actually getting termites and not knowing it for a little while and getting lots of damage to your house, then the cost of having the house treated and keeping it under contract is minimal and probably worth every penny. The cost of the treatment is going to vary based on who you have do it, which company you choose, and the actual house itself. But just say that it costs $1,000 for the initial treatment and then $125 every year to renew the contract where they come out and inspect it. It's well worth it because if you do actually get termites while you're under contract, the cost to have it treated again and any damage that's caused is covered. So these are the kind of things that you need to know if you're moving to South Louisiana. And the number that's popping up on your screen below is a number where you can reach me to help you make that move. I'm here to be a resource for you for anything real estate related, so it doesn't matter whether you need to move right now or if you're just thinking about moving in the future and you want some questions answered. I'm here to help you in any way I can, so don't hesitate to reach out. And if you haven't done it yet, go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell because I'm putting out videos just like this every single week and I don't want you to miss anything. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week and I'll see you on the next one.